the invisible form. The visible painting is not the object of thought. It is the veil through which form becomes perceptible. True form is intelligible and invisible. It appears only a symbol, diagram, or vibration. Each multiplicity of shapes implies a single underlying essence. The canvas is not an image of things. It is an instrument for approaching that which cannot be seen. To paint is to render the invisible legible without making it literal. Conventional symbols are not principles but assumptions. Every sacred geometry must eventually be questioned by the very mind that employs it. The true ascent of art begins when its own axiom becomes objects of inquiry. The movement of spiritual painting is upward toward that which cannot be hypothesized. One must climb through images and then discard them. The ladder of symbols must be thrown away once the summit is glimpsed. Knowledge and vision are not identical with truths. They are its reflections. The source of illumination is beyond the illuminated. The highest principle cannot be painted, only approached. The good exceeds the image that seeks to contain it. The form of forms is not depicted, it is radiated through relation. A true spiritual form is self-referential, unique, and immutable in essence. A painting of higher order refers not outward, but inward. Being itself may be understood as a form. Every authentic symbol contains within it the echo of its origin. The highest art forms a closed yet resonant chamber in which the primal sound reverberates. Propositions that lead beyond themselves must ultimately be abandoned. The language of spirit may appear nonsensical to the rational eye. Clarity is attained only after symbolic opacity is transcended. The function of mystical articulation is not explanation but elevation. Every image contains both presence and withdrawal. In every finished work there is a not yet. The visible is the trace of an absence. The sacred diagram oscillates between manifestation and concealment. The invisible enters consciousness through delay, not immediacy. To name is to consecrate. An object becomes symbolic when removed from its ordinary field. Transformation requires displacement and renaming. The act of designation is itself creative. A work of art is an ontological shift enacted by attention. The truest works are executed under instruction from beyond the ego. The artist is both medium and mathematician. Geometry is a language of spiritual necessity. The diagram is a revelation of order hidden within flux. The hand must be trained, but it must also submit. Knowledge deepens at the boundary between the sensible and the intelligible. Spiritual art inhabits the excluded middle. The decisive gesture occurs at the line where image meets idea. The vanishing point is both disappearance and origin. Infinity and zero are spiritual neighbors. Creation requires trust in what cannot yet be seen. The invisible tests the fidelity of the visible. Spiritual vocation begins with departure from the familiar. Doubt and devotion coexist within revelation. The journey of form is also a journey of obedience. Remembrance gathers the scattered. Reminding reimagines what has been forgotten. Symbol is the reunion of what has been dismembered. Art is the act of remembering the cosmos. The mind uses images as images use the mind. Every painting is a map of intelligible territories. The visible line conceals an invisible axis. The highest art charts regions beyond sensation. A spiritual composition triangulates the soul, the world, and the unseen principle. The ultimate image is a local habitation of the universal. A work of higher calling exceeds its historical moment. Its meaning unfolds across generations. The invisible form precedes the artist and outlives her. True abstraction is revelation without depiction. To see the world rightly is to perceive the form through the image. Purity is often mistaken for case. Purity is often mistaken for ease. The simplest surface can conceal the longest discipline. What appears single-minded may be a product of many renunciations. Simplicity is not a lack of complexity, but a victory over it. One can reject symbols while still being shaped by symbolic systems. Symbols may be expelled from the work while their metaphysical pressure remains. The image can become non-symbolic in method while still philosophical in aim. Revolutions in form are often delayed by temperament rather than by ideas. Great transformations can be slow because craft must catch up to conviction. Will can substitute for talent, and patience can substitute for speed. A severe ethical atmosphere trains reduction. A culture of inwardness fosters flatness, restraint, and distrust of ornament. The spirit of renunciation can become a visual method. Early work can already contain a future pressure toward the surface. Depth can begin to collapse long before abstraction arrives. A sky pressed forward, a horizon denied, a foreground that cages the infinite. These are early rehearsals of the plane. A maker may learn from schools yet advance by self-teaching. Belonging to a scene does not require assimilation to it. Distance from fashion can be a condition of a linear destiny. Technical limitations can generate conceptual rigor. When virtuosity is absent, structure becomes the substitute. Structure repeated becomes a path.